It's the time of the year where we're all going to pumpkin patches, doing fall activities, and before long, Christmas events. If you're thinking about hosting an event, here are 5 keys to success that will make sure that it truly is the type of event that you want to put on and you see the results that you're looking for. So, number one, make sure first off it's something that people actually want to go to, that there's something that feels unique about it, or is something that you know that your audience that you particularly plan to invite to the event is interested in that type of event. So certainly, like if you want to do a event for young kids and most of your clients don't have young kids, they're more teenagers now, that wouldn't be a great event. But if you know right now that you have a lot of families with young children and pumpkin patches are a family favorite, that might hit the mark. So think about what might work for you. I know one example of advisor we always refer to as an advisor who did a pumpkin patch. And I think it was in Albuquerque because there weren't a lot of them around. So it was very desired because it wasn't an experience that they got very often. So you can think about also what could set you apart. Number 2, start early. We never ever seem to start early enough. But the earlier you can start, the more likely all the rest of these details will come together. And people just need notice, right? Everybody is busy, busier now than ever, especially as you get into fall with kids' activities and school activities and just work. Life is busy. So make sure that you get enough advance notice in terms of starting your planning. Number 3, make sure you define success. Now, I was just talking to an advisor this morning and we were talking about his event and said, what does success look like for you? And we helped to drill that in terms of one, he felt like success would be of just having an event, make sure that it's really well executed, communicated, all the things we're talking about today, and that people show up. But in terms of that, we talked a little bit about like, hey, what's the minimum that would feel like that would be good, that you feel excited if we had this attendance? And then what would be really, really exciting and impactful in terms of what you would like to see out of your business? So have those discussions. It's okay, especially if it's your first time, if it's not like, oh, I want to get 5 new clients out of this fit, but start to talk about that and talk about how you're going to track towards that success as well. Number 4, plan, plan, plan. Plan what's going to happen leading up to the event. We have a nice checklist that we utilize of what you need to do before the event. That's where most of us think about most of our time, or secondarily, the day of the event and what has to happen at the event itself. What we typically see that is overlooked is what happens after the event, and having those discussions about how can you follow back up? How do you make sure that you can continue to leverage it? What might you want to share via follow-up communication or social media? So make sure you're talking about in your planning pre-event, the event itself, and post-event. And number 5, communicate, or I could say promote, 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 but I will say communicate, communicate, communicate. Yeah, if people don't know that your event is going on, like we said, you got to both start your planning early, but you got to also communicate that and get that out, whether it's just through a save the date. If it's through people calling into your office or doing reviews with you, and you just say, hey, I hope you saw the invitation. We're so excited for this event and hope to see you there. Can we, are you planning to attend? Talking about it, creating some buzz, some energy, making sure that you're reminding people, because people get busy, they'll forget. How often do you sign up for something and then later on you're like, oh, well, you know what, I could really use that time right now, or do I really want to go to that anymore? You got to keep that energy going and continue to communicate with people. It's averaged, that 50% of those that say yes, well, they won't attend. So make sure that you're continuing to follow up and communicate through that entire process. So remember these 5 keys to success. Make it something that's unique that people want to attend, that you start your planning early, that you have success defined, that you plan pre-event, for the event, and post-event, and that you communicate, communicate, communicate. If you follow those 5 keys to success, whether you're doing your first event or this is your 25th, you'll be bound to see even more results come from what you're doing. So I hope you take this. If you need some tips and you need a tool to help you with all of that planning, let us know, and we can make sure that you get that event checklist to help in your planning needs this fall and winter. And have a great rest of your day. We'll be back next Tuesday with more tips.